Yeah, what's up? It's your boy Domuto back with another video. Today we're watching Saiyan, and we're watching shit, what this shit called? What is Saiyan? What in Dragon Ball? Saiyan, what is damn, I can't talk today. What if Saiyan was in Dragon Ball? Full story. I don't know what the fuck part we is. I think we watching one part today though, cause I am tired. I've been working hard this week. I think I worked 7 out of the last 8 days. You know what I'm saying? So I've been working pretty hard, man. I know y'all come in like, oh, that's nothing. I've been working 20 days straight, 12 hours. Shut the fuck up, nigga. I don't give a fuck. I'm tired. But anyway, let's get into it.
Obviously, Goku's
But I'm off for the next 2 days, so we'll get these videos in, baby.
It's not like they're training for a death match or something. They're just training for fun and to get stronger. One day, Goku is at home training with Gohan outside. They wonder if there's a way to surpass their limits somehow. Salad was able to transform, and even Frieza was too. They wonder if it's possible for Saiyans to transform, not just power boosting techniques like Kaioken, like an actual full-blown transformation. Vegeta mentioned something about a Super Saiyan or whatever. They don't know what it is or how to get it, but they're aiming for whatever that is. It's just trial and error at this point. They're just hoping to stumble upon it by chance. During their sparring match, Goku sees something fly out of the woods. He launches a small blast at Gohan that knocks him away and knocks himself back, quickly allowing them to get out of the way of whatever flew out of the forest. The object hits a nearby hill and explodes. It was a ki blast. Someone launched a ki blast at them, and just as Goku realizes this, he looks back at the forest and sees more coming towards him. He and Gohan dodge them all, but they seem to be more so aimed at Goku than anything, and they're powerful ki blasts too. It seems like their intent is to actually injure Goku. This isn't some training thing. I mean,
the androids!
They're just random blasts flying out of the forest. But from the tree line, someone jumps up. Flipping around in the sky as they launch more ki blasts at the two of them, then descending downward with a kick.
Oh, General Chow.
Whatever's flying towards
Cow, whatever
the person simply kicks himself off the Kamehameha, gracefully landing on the ground nearby. It takes Goku a bit to recognize who it is, but he can tell immediately by the outfit and the hair. He remembers this person. It was that assassin from his childhood, Tao. He was at the 23rd World Tournament as well, but they don't remember him being this strong after getting into the cyber. Gohan doesn't know who this is, but he's on guard, ready to fight alongside Goku. Tao exchanges no words, lunging at them without saying anything. The two fight him, and he's actually really strong. Goku's surprised. What happened? He wasn't this strong against Shinhan. It doesn't make sense for him to get this powerful. And even with the two of them facing him at once, they're only just able to hold him off. They're struggling to defeat him. And what's even crazier, it seems like he's not even tiring out at all. He's fighting at 100% the whole time. Tao lands a kick that hits Goku, knocking him back into Gohan, as the two are thrown into the river nearby. Quickly, Tao sticks his cybernetic arm out, charging a blast. But before he can launch the blast, he senses something nearby. He tries to move his arm out of the way, but it's too late. It gets grazed by a death saucer, breaking the cannon within. Salad then jumps out. He sensed this fight going on and knew that they needed help. Goku and Gohan are glad to see him here, but they wonder where the other fighters are. Wouldn't they have sensed this too and tried to help? But Salad's not even focused on them. Salad knows who this is. He has data on Tao after all, but he shouldn't be this strong. Salad puts two and two together and realizes that he must be working with Jiro, and must have been upgraded somehow to be an actual android.
I need a haircut.
Tao realizes he's outmatched, so he retreats, hoping that a grenade doesn't blow up in his face again, but also retreating with the intention that the group follows him. He's going to lead them to a trap, but luckily Salad tells him to stop. He doesn't want them to follow Tao. It might be too dangerous. Besides, they have to help Vegeta and Piccolo. Goku and Gohan were so busy that they didn't even notice. Piccolo and Vegeta are fighting someone, but they can't sense their energy. The three of them fly over, wondering what's happening. Not too far away, Piccolo and Vegeta are engaged in their own fight, and they're losing pretty badly.
Piccolo and Vegeta fighting together.
Also be from the Red Ribbon Army, and they don't have any sort of ki at all. Sense. But one thing they know for sure is that these two are strong. They've witnessed it firsthand. They can't even damage these two, and their attacks are so powerful that they can barely defend against them. These two are androids 14 and 15. The two of them charge an attack together, ready to finish off Vegeta and Piccolo. But in the nick of time, the other three fighters arrive, deflecting the blast back at the androids. They're uninjured though, but weirdly enough, they also retreat. Salad realizes that this is definitely a trap of some sorts. Why would they retreat right now? Suspiciously, he looks around, trying to see if Jiro's anywhere. He can't find him, but he knows Jiro's watching. And sure enough, he is. On a mountaintop nearby, he's looking down on the group.
Android 13.
Upgrades of his own, although not too advanced since he was more focused.
Where's my trucker hat?
By his side is another project of his, Android 13, the ultimate most powerful android in his arsenal. Good. Everything is falling into place. Soon enough, the androids will have led everyone into a trap. being able to kill Goku and eliminate Salad as well. But as Jiro watches on, his grin turns into a grimace. He makes direct eye contact with Salad, who returns an equally threatening death stare. Jiro scoffs as he and 13 retreat, disappearing from sight before the group even notices them. So, this is Jiro's plan. He's gonna finally try and kill Goku, as well as Salad himself. Salad tells the group to follow him. They're gonna go to Jiro's lab and see if they can find some clues about the androids. Maybe they could either find them there, or find blueprints that actually cover them. But either way, Salad has a bad feeling about this. He doesn't know what to expect at all. Salad knows that something's pretty fishy right now. Besides the fact that all the androids just retreated, he clearly just saw Jiro. He doesn't know what they expect him to do. Maybe they expect them to follow the other androids. Maybe it was part of their plan to be spotted. Who knows? But it seems like it might be the time for a diversion. With one finger, Salad points a blast at the water nearby, dragging it along the water, creating a massive wave. He then throws on a bunch of key blasts too, creating smoke around the area. He's not sure if Jiro's watching and how many androids are with him, but what he's trying to accomplish right now is to make sure that they're not spotted retreating. Of course, it looks like the androids retreated, but for all they know, they're still out there, absorbing not only Salad's moves, but everyone else. They all follow Salad as they're led to some random place in the woods. And eventually they stumble upon Dr. Jiro's lab. Salad wasn't too sure where else to go, but in terms of trying to figure out what's going on, this seems to be their best bet. And thankfully, it is empty, but Salad expects the androids to show up soon. Maybe they know that the group went here. Maybe they're at Capsule Corp. Maybe they're at Kame House. He's not sure, but he expects that there's probably a trap laid somewhere. So they need to move quick. In the lab, everyone begins picking up random blueprints that they find, whatever they could find lying around, and Salad begins analyzing all of them. They also find a bunch of random android pods, labeled from numbers 13 to number 18, with 13, 14, and 15 being empty. And from what Salad can gather from the blueprints, it seems that Jiro made a series of androids, although androids 16, 17, and 18 were deemed failures, and they've been left dormant, which is why they're still in their pods. The group considers destroying these ones, but Salad says he could try to reverse engineer them, either to make them good, or to figure out a weakness that he could use to exploit the other androids. But it's obviously going to take some time, so they leave those ones intact, while trying to study the blueprints for the other ones. As the group leaves, they do find one more interesting thing in the plans, something that Salad picks up right away. It notes some project labeled as Cell. Salad searched everywhere in the lab, but doesn't find this project laying about. Jiro has the project in mind, and it seems he was still unsure about whether or not he wanted to pursue it. And Salad could clearly see why he hasn't pursued it yet. It seems pretty much similar to him, almost an exact copy of him, if anything. A fighter comprised of the DNA of other fighters, bioengineered to be the perfect being. This must be Jiro's answer to Salad, another version of him. The group exits the lab, and just as they expected, they're immediately attacked. Blasts rain down from the sky, and Salad quickly creates a barrier, with the others trying to do the same as well. And amidst all the chaos, Chaozu and Yamcha retreat with all the android pods, leaving the others behind to fight. They did want to test Kaioken, so it's kind of a bummer that they are the ones that have to drag these pods away, but maybe later on they'll get some action. It would be really fun to use Kaioken against the androids. Of course, they aren't the only ones with it, and you'll see what I mean later. But still, they kind of want to join. As all the blasts clear away, the androids see a bunch of barriers below, and 3 of them descend from the sky, the same ones from before, Tau, 14, and 15. Salad asks where Jiro is, as well as the other android, which he assumes is 13. 14 says not to worry about it, with 15 saying that they're the main course right now. 13 is much stronger than them anyways. So if these two can't be defeated, they have no chance of fighting 13. Not to mention, they have Tau with them, who may actually be more of an issue. The groups begin fighting, and it immediately becomes clear that they have the advantage over 14 and 15, but Tau is actually able to handle himself pretty well. Goku even comments on it. It seems this cyborg upgrade is really helping him. But amidst the fight, they then hear 2 people shout Kaioken, catching the androids off guard, as 14 is then attacked by 2 other fighters. Yamcha and Chaozu have returned, and they're finally able to use Kaioken in battle, injuring 14 as the rest of the fighters finish him off. With 14 left in pieces, they then set their attention on 15, and with the team effort, they take him out as well. Alright, this might not be as bad as they thought. There's 2 androids down, and only 3 to go. This only serves to anger Tau further. Not only is he angry to see Goku and his kid, but the fact that they're even losing. But he shouldn't lose faith. They still have him, as well as 13 and Jiro. Tau begins fighting more seriously. His power is much higher, and his techniques are much better. And despite being outnumbered, he's still managing pretty well. This leads to a rematch of sorts between Tenshinhan, Goku, and Tau. And they've paced themselves long enough. They can let out more of their full power. The 2 of them begin powering up more and more, and they start seeing an advantage over Tau. He's not the only one who's improved over this time period. The funny part is, they did it all naturally. He had to get upgrades to do so. He can't believe he's being overpowered by them. And just when they're about to finish the fight, they launch a blast at Tau, although it's blocked by someone. Jiro quickly enters the battlefield, not only jumping in front of Tao to protect him, but to absorb the energy blast and get stronger himself. They finally coaxed him into fighting. But it's not just Jiro that jumps in now. The 13 also lands on the battlefield. And even with 2 androids defeated, they still seem very confident. And Salad gets a pretty bad feeling about this. Seeing Jiro, he immediately sets his sights on the Doctor. Tackling him and grabbing him as they're launched far away. They land in the woods nearby, as the showdown between Creator and Creation begins. Jiro clearly isn't that strong, at least not even as strong as the other androids. It's very obvious that he's outmatched here. Sure, he's able to absorb Ki Blast, but in terms of raw physical strength, it's nothing amazing. But that's not the point here. Salad knows that Jiro wasn't a threat physically. It's more so whatever he had planned, and the fact that Salad wanted to settle this one-on-one. It's not like he has anything to prove, though. He just wants Jiro out of his life. Jiro tells Salad that he was supposed to be the ultimate creation of his, but calls him an utter failure. Had he been loyal, things would have been so much better. He could have been stronger. He could have been perfect. And none of this conflict would have ever happened.
I'm perfect.
Goku, and that would have been that. But Salad doesn't care what Jiro has to say. He's completely unfazed by Jiro's words. He's made himself a better fighter than Jiro ever could have. All through his own training and experiences. Sure, he's not perfect, but he's on the path to becoming perfect. One day he'll be there. He'll obtain his final form and grow stronger from there on out. And the best part is, he's free to do what he wants. He's not a slave to Jiro's will. Jiro says it doesn't matter. Even if he's defeated, the group doesn't stand a chance against his newest creation, his ultimate android, Super Android 13. With a single swipe, he bisects Dr. Jiro, taking both arms off in the swing. And with Jiro literally disarmed now, Salad launches a blast that completely destroys the Doctor. It'll be interesting to see how 13's going to act without a commander. And if anything, this helps reinvigorate Salad, the main source of his anxiety, everything that he was worrying about. He finally got rid of it. And the threats that he's facing right now, he's not worrying when they're about to appear. They're already here. He just has to manage them. He flies back over to the group, witnessing an encounter with 13. 13 and Tao have teamed up, and it seems that 13 is surprisingly powerful. The two of them together are actually enough to overwhelm the group. 13 is pretty strong, clearly much more powerful than the other androids. Salad continues wondering, is this what Jiro meant when he said Super Android 13? Or was that implying something else? That maybe he can go beyond where he is now? Obviously, Jiro is capable of making androids that can transform. I mean, look at Salad. As the group continues working together, they're eventually able to overpower the two androids. Just barely, though, and it seems that this battle might be over. Cyborg Tao is on his last legs, and as for Android 13, he still seems relatively okay. But they have one last trick up their sleeve, something that Android 13 was saving just in case. Near the destroyed remains of Androids 14 and 15, some of the scattered pieces of them begin vibrating. The parts fly over to Android 13. Some go into his head, and some go into his chest, and it seems they assimilate with him somehow. They're not sure what's happening, but they can tell it's not good. And Tao watches on, smiling and laughing. Surely now the group will meet their demise. And he continues laughing as his fellow android begins transforming. 13 bulks up. His skin begins turning blue. His hair becomes orange and spiked up. The transformation completes, and Salad finally sees what Jiro was talking about. This is what he must have meant. Super Android 13 was a transformation, a merging of the three androids. All the fighters gang up on him, in a desperate attempt to try and defeat the android. But clearly they're too late. They had their chance with regular Android 13, but with him transforming, they're completely outclassed now. 13 scans all the fighters once more, communicating with the supercomputer. He could tell how far ahead he is of them. Not to mention, he could predict how they're going to fight. And then he notices something interesting. Salad's doing the same thing. Ah, of course, he should have expected a fellow android to be just as smart as him. And quickly, he shoots down all of Salad's drones. Of course, Salad could build more later, but right now he won't have them to support him in battle. They're providing so much data about 13. But in terms of this new form, he's going to be completely left in the dark. The Saiyans go into attack, with Piccolo telling Salad to join them. Even though the group does outnumber Android 13, there's too many of them to fight at once. Especially considering the fact that Android 13 is so much stronger than all of them, possibly even combined. Of course, this ends up causing the Kaioken users to actually have to use Kaioken. But that doesn't even help too much. Even with people like Goku that are incredibly strong, especially with Kaioken on top of it, it's not doing too much to help. And of course, it just gives 13 more and more data, which only adds to how formidable of a foe he is. And 13's not even the only one they're facing. Even though he is kinda injured, Tao is there too. And granted, he's not as powerful as 13, and not nearly as tough to take on. But with 13 there, Tao works as an excellent distraction. Because if anyone tries to attack him, it leaves them open for Android 13. 13 begins charging up a bunch of energy, surrounded by a red dome of it, as it then explodes outwards, knocking all the fighters back and leveling the entire area, including the mountains around them and the lab. The mountain range and forest is turned into a desolate wasteland, as the fighters dig themselves out of the rubble, ready to fight once more. But they're running out of energy. The use of Kaioken is wearing out the fighters that can use it. And even though Salad and Piccolo can regenerate, it's not like they can infinitely keep fighting. they hear all the Namekians inside of them trying to communicate, warning of the threat that they're facing. The Namekians try to guide Piccolo, and as for Salad, they know he's an odd case, and give him an idea. Salad has something he could use. He doesn't know if it'll actually work, but it might pay off. Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta are trying to take on 13 right now. And Piccolo watches as Salad then jumps in, now surrounded by a red glow. Wait, he has Kaioken? Yeah, he actually did have it, but he was trying to save it because he didn't know if he'd pull it off. With all the research he's done on everyone, as well as the fact that he has updated DNA from Goku and all, he's always had access to this, but he saw how painful it was for the others to use and decided against it. Not to mention, he didn't know how it would interact with his body. It's one thing with the humans and Saiyans, but with him, he was kinda unsure. The good thing is he can regenerate while using it, although he's not using it at very high levels right now. At most, he'd probably be able to push it to ×4. But because of how little practice he has with it, it's incredibly draining. But still, even with this additional power, it seems like it's not
Come on, Charlotte.
There seems to be no way for them to actually defeat Android 13. Is this
And
really
Android 13
it seems
about to
everything's
whoop a
gonna
nigga
end.
out here.
Fighters are picked off one by one, left heavily injured or unconscious. The only fighters barely standing are Goku, Piccolo, and Salad. But even then they're on their last legs. But out from nearby rubble,
Damn.
Gohan jumps out, displaying one of his rage boosts. He actually does land some hits on Android 13, surprising the android. He didn't have data on any of this. He knew Gohan was prone to rage boost, but he didn't know he can get this powerful from it. Although, of course, this rage boost is fleeting, and as Gohan continues punching and kicking the android, he grabs Gohan midair. He lifts up another hand and charges a point-blank blast. The others watch on in fear, thinking he'll actually kill Gohan. But quickly Salad extends one of his arms out, grabbing onto 13's other arm, redirecting the blast. Gohan then has one last burst of energy, kicking Android 13's arm and breaking it, freeing himself.
Okay.
And now Android 13's even more pissed. With his one non-broken arm, he launches an attack at Gohan, leaving behind a massive crater and a heavily injured Gohan. 13 then slowly walks over to Salad and Goku. They should have expected this. The androids are superior after all, and it's a shame that Salad wasn't there to join them. But all that matters is in the end, Gero was able to win. Tao weakly stands up, brushing himself off, and asks 13 if he will let him do the honors. He sticks out a blade towards Goku, ready to finish the job. But then decides maybe it would be best to give Goku a little show first. With his cannon arm, he begins charging a blast, directed right at Gohan. Before Goku dies, Tao wants to make sure he watches everyone else die around him too.
Oh, shit.
Tao turns over to Gohan, launching the blast.
I won't let
Flash
you
of light
get
whips
away.
around him. The blast makes impact and explodes, and Tao turns back to Goku, only to see that he's not there. Wait, what? Salad and Piccolo are just as confused. That flash of light that warped around Tao, it couldn't be. And as the blast dissipates, they see Goku standing over there, although something's different about him. They can't see it first because he's coated by a golden aura, but the aura eventually clears out, revealing Goku there with blonde hair. Everyone's eyes widen, especially the weakened Vegeta nearby. That's it, Kakarot's done it. There's no doubt about it. He's become a Super Saiyan. And Goku doesn't waste this opportunity, not even knowing what power he possesses right now. Quickly he dashes over to Android 13, too fast for him to even process what's happening. The supercomputer has no data on this, and it doesn't seem like he's going to get any data anytime soon. And with the little energy he has remaining, Goku launches one attack and makes it count, completely destroying the android, only to collapse right after. Tao panics after seeing this, and he tries to escape now. He quickly tries to leave the area, only to be hit by a blast. Ten Shinhan, with the last of his energy, launches
Kiko!
finishing the job and killing Tao.
Okay, team.
Everyone's bloodied and beaten, but they're victorious. And after some time, they're all healed. But Salad uses this opportunity to try and make himself stronger. So that form Goku had was interesting. He wanted to see if he could study it at all, learning from it and seeing if he can apply it to himself somehow. But more importantly, he's studying the blueprints of the other androids, as well as whatever pieces of them he found scattered around. The main thing he wants is what Tao had, infinite energy. But also he wanted to see what made Android 13 so powerful, how he was able to merge with the other androids, and seeing if he's capable of anything similar. With the pieces that he's gathered, Salad begins studying them, not sure what each of them do and where they're from. He's surprised he even found any of these random robot parts scattered around. But as he continues studying them, something weird begins happening. It's kind of like he saw before in the battlefield. The parts, they begin vibrating, and they jump up from the lab around him, colliding with Salad and assimilating within him. He's not sure what just happened, and he doesn't know if it's a good sign or a bad sign. Maybe this is some sort of contingency plan for Dr. Gero. Salad's unsure of what's happening. And obviously this is cause for concern. He feels odd at first and is worried, but then he feels fine. But the thing that just happened definitely wasn't normal, so he's kinda in panic mode. He needs to get this reversed, and he needs to tell someone about it. Even though he feels fine right now, this could be bad. He tries to fix it quick. Of course, he knows how he's built. With the smarts of both Bulma and Gero in him, he probably can figure out a way to reverse this, just to make sure that he's okay. But once he actually attempts to fix this, he then stops suddenly. he gets a different idea. Something within him clicks, and he feels power. The parts begin blending with him more, and he doesn't even realize what's happening.
Damn.
But the power that he's feeling, it isn't enough. He wants more. He still needs to achieve the perfection that he wanted. From the merging, he actually did grow a bit stronger, but something changed in his mind too, and that's why he's feeling the way he does right now. It's not like these parts merging with him will make him loyal to Jiro. He'll never be loyal to him. But he's become a little bit malicious in a way. The influence of 13, 14, and 15 are changing him, as well as the supercomputer that controlled those ones. Thoughts begin rushing through his mind. That desire for his perfect form, he wants it again. And maybe the way to achieve it was around him this entire time. He gets stronger from absorbing power, just like he did just now. The other androids inside are beginning to influence him more and more. There's multiple things that have influenced Salad's power and personality so far. There's so many within him right now. Besides Salad himself, there's the there's androids.
That Salad gonna be a fucking evil.
But those malicious parts, they're starting to overwhelm him, and that original Salad keeps kicking in. The one that Jiro intended him to be.
Shit, the original
Even
Salad.
though the androids and Jiro have been defeated, it seems that they're still gonna have a resurgence somehow. He's thinking more and more. He needs his power from his friends. That's how he's gonna get it. He can absorb them, get power from them somehow, as well as collecting more and more data. Maybe this is what he needs for his perfect form. He needs the power to actually fuel that ability. But who should be his first target, and how should he go about this? Under the control of the androids, he departs, and begins looking for a suitable target, and he knows just the person to fight first. Someone that's alone, someone secluded that would be easy to attack, and someone that he knows very well in order to counter. He flies away, and in the middle of the wasteland, he meets Piccolo. Piccolo sentences him arriving, and he wonders why Salad's here. But there's something weird about it. The look on his face, and his ki, it feels different. It's not like Salad even answers him or anything. He just immediately attacks Piccolo. This catches Piccolo off guard. He knew something was up, but he didn't think this was gonna happen. He begins questioning Salad more and more. This isn't like him. What's going on? He doesn't say anything. He just continues attacking. And then Piccolo notices what's going on. Salad's mostly trying to attack with his tail. He's trying to absorb Piccolo's power. Piccolo powers up, grabbing Salad's tail mid-attack, ripping it off. Of course he's gonna regenerate it, but Piccolo uses this to get some distance. Something's not right. And with the timing of all this, he suspects that Dr. Jiro has something to do with it, even beyond the grave. But then he remembers those pieces of the androids. He remembers that Salad took some of them to study. He upgraded himself, giving himself an infinite energy engine from Tau. But he was also studying the other androids, and using their pieces, maybe something happened with that. Maybe he tried to test it out or something and he got taken control of. Piccolo doesn't know what's going on. He's just theorizing right now. But he knows whatever's going on, it's bad. Salad's being controlled by something other than him. This is right off the heels of their other fight with the androids. They didn't expect to fight someone else so soon, especially someone in their group. And that's the thing. No one else knows about this yet, just Piccolo. He needs to get the word out there. And they need help, especially from one certain person. He needs to get in contact with Bulma. If this is something mechanical, maybe she could reverse it somehow. She does have access to the blueprints from Jiro after all. After the whole androids thing, they're able to collect them. And that's part of what Salad's been studying too. She could probably figure out something. A way to fix this. But it's not going to be that easy. He actually needs to get there first in one piece, and not lead Salad along with him.
Hey,
He
Salad
needs to stall for
fucking
time.
up, bruh.
But he has an idea. He begins communicating mentally with others, trying to warn them of what's going on, and asking for help. Someone needs to get a hold of Bulma. They ask where Piccolo is right now. He's in the midst of the battle, and he could use some help over here too. Krillin and Yamcha respond. They say they'll go to Bulma for help. All the other fighters will go over there and help him. A big issue with this fight too is if Salad does attack them successfully, he'll get stronger, and they can't kill Salad. They're just trying to stop him, do whatever they can to hold him back for now. But Salad expected this anyway.
It's a good story,
he knew
man.
If he attacked one of them, the others would come. He's surprised that Piccolo was able to fend him off. He knew how strong Piccolo was after all, but sadly it's not strong enough. He powers up in the Kaioken. With infinite energy and regeneration, he could use this flawlessly. He goes into ×2 just to catch Piccolo off guard. It's a direct hit. He stabs Piccolo right in the arm with his tail, beginning to drain his energy. Piccolo's injured by this, feeling weaker and weaker the more it happens. Thankfully, in the nick of time, he is able to cut off Salad's tail, but he's very tired out now, and Salad has grown noticeably stronger by taking Piccolo's energy.
Damn.
The good thing is, not too long after, his friends arrive to help. They're still confused as to what's going on. Piccolo could only be brief when he was explaining, but Salad tells them to stop looking so confused. Can't they tell what this is? This is what he was meant for. He was built by Jiro to destroy them, to grow stronger, to become perfect. But Goku questions why this is happening. He never was like this. Salad was good, he was different from the other androids. But that's the thing, he's no different from them now. How did they think he got stronger? Who did they think he was studying? Those androids became a part of him, and they're leading him down this path. He'll attain perfection and become the strongest thing in the galaxy. He doesn't care about Jiro's motives or whatever. This is all for him. But Goku notes something interesting to Piccolo. Salad's ki definitely is different, and a lot more malicious, but still, Goku feels a bit of his normal ki there. Vegeta notes this too. Maybe there's a bit of himself still left in there. Unlike the other androids, he's not purely mechanical. He's an actual living organism. There still has to be some sort of sentience in there, something not being controlled by a computer. And Piccolo tries paying
figure it out
more closely. He could feel it. There's still good in there. Not just Salad himself, but also the influence of the Namekians. His programming is just being overridden by the other androids. But Goku challenges Salad. He tells him, they defeated the androids once already. It won't be a problem defeating them again, even if it means defeating Salad. Salad brushes this off, immediately going in to attack the group. Meanwhile, let's go over to Bulma's lab. Krillin and Yamcha have filled her in on everything, and she was actually able to work pretty quickly. The best part is, she knew all about this a while ago. When they first found Salad, she always was a bit concerned about him, being a Red Ribbon android and all. And once the other androids were defeated, she found out that a lot of them had some sort of self-destruct buttons. Wait, she's gonna blow Salad up? No, not that. This just means there's some sort of backdoor in the android's programming, something that she could use to get in there. Not necessarily self-destruction. Salad probably doesn't even have a bomb in it. This just proves that Jiro built some sort of safeguard. If all those other androids had it, Salad definitely has to too. And after they raided Jiro's lab, she actually did find out about this. She's been looking into it. Salad himself even noted it. He was more focused on giving himself an upgrade, which he did on his own. But Bulma was fascinated with Jiro's plans. And if the other androids are taking an influence of him, there's a way to stop this. First of all, there might be another supercomputer somewhere. This is what originally controlled the androids, and collected all the data for them. But also, there's a way to shut them down. If those are the ones influencing Salad right now, all they need to do is figure out a way to stop them. It might be a bit hard though. If they're merged with Salad, they're hardwired into it. But that just means they need to give Salad more power somehow. They need to activate his perfection. She figured out a way to finally access it. And this is what they're going to use to counter the android's influence. If he becomes perfect, that might create an opening for them. While he transforms, they can destroy the androids. Get rid of whatever chips are influencing him. It's a long shot, but it's the only chance they have besides actually killing him. The issue is, it seems he needs to absorb some piece of technology to actually become perfect. She doesn't know why Jiro built his androids like that, but that's the way it is. Luckily, she's able to recreate this, and she thinks that it might work in the form of a weapon. If she creates a sword or something, someone can use it to not only inject the data within him, but also the parts that he needs to become perfect. It shouldn't take too long to make. Meanwhile, the fight's still going. Krillin and Yamcha relay all this information. And even though there's so many people fighting him right now, it's actually a bit tough. After he absorbed Piccolo's energy, and with the androids merging with him, plus the fact that he has infinite energy now, Salad is much stronger than he was before. Of course, with all of them together, they're able to hold him off. But it's just that he's acting so much more sporadically, and he's not fighting like normal. The data of the supercomputer is helping him too. If they were fighting a normal Salad, this would be easy. But he's buffed. He has infinite energy. He has Kaioken. And the supercomputer is giving him so much data and making him fight. It's not going to work. But mid-battle, something happens to him. He freezes. He grabs his head in pain. Something's wrong. He tries to speak, and for a brief moment, his normal self breaks through. He tells the group the supercomputer shut down. Attack him now while they can. Wait, if the supercomputer's off, that means he should be fine, right? He tells them no, hurry up. Even without the supercomputer, the androids are still in him, influencing him and activating his old program. They're just going to take some time to reboot. They're concerned. He's acting normal and they don't want to attack him, but he tells them to do it. Eventually, they have no other choice. They decide to attack him while he's off guard. This injures him, and he purposefully doesn't regenerate. He knows they're about to reboot soon, and he wants to give them a fighting chance. He tells them to get Bulma's help. She could help reverse this, and Piccolo says she's already working on it. That's good. He's happy to hear this. But then he flips back to being controlled by the androids. They then hear him speaking in a different voice. It's 13's voice. Even if the supercomputer's down, it doesn't matter. 13's already collected all the data himself, as well as 14 and 15. And with the power and abilities of Salad's body, as well as the power they're absorbing right now, nothing they do will be enough. He has to take some time to regenerate though. Even though Salad just regained control for a bit, 13 promises them that won't happen anymore. As he tries to regenerate, the others attack him. Goku, Piccolo, Vegeta, Gohan, everyone's attacking at once. 13 powers up, activating Kaioken again. This tears his body up even more, and even with regeneration, it's gonna make the regeneration really slow, but it makes him so much faster and stronger. He stretches his arms out, beginning to attack from a distance. At one point, he even grabs Goku, and Goku's able to break free, but then they see something fly past everyone. It's Salad's tail. He stretches it out. It's right behind Goku, and it pierces right through his back. They're able to cut it off, but it's already too late. 13's chuckling. He now has Goku's power. Even if it's only a little bit, this is still going to buff him. He tries to power up more, and suddenly his expression changes, and he quickly dodges something that flies past him. And then another object flies past. Landing on the battlefield is Krillin and Yamcha, with Krillin having a sword in his hand. A sword? Why does he have that? What is that gonna do to him? But then 13 remembers. He remembers what Salad was told before. They're getting Bulma to help them. But if these guys are coming from Bulma's place, why do they have a sword? They try to attack again. He's able to dodge quickly, but then Krillin tosses the sword to Piccolo. Piccolo begins swinging. deliberately trying to stab a Salad, and then he sees what's happening. Bulma, of course, knows how the androids work by now. Maybe she figured out a way to shut them down. Obviously, she can't blow them up. There's no bomb inside. The sword isn't any normal sword. If he gets stabbed with it, it'll wire up to them, removing his influence and destroying the other androids too. He tells him that's not going to work. He's already hardwired within a Salad. But Krillin says that's not what the sword is for.
What?
The sword's passed around more and more between everyone. 13 tries to take the sword for himself, losing focus. He needs to amp up Kaioken even more, but if he does so, it's going to completely halt his regeneration. He'll have to focus all of it on trying to counter Kaioken, but it doesn't matter. He needs the power. This leaves him a bit open defensively, but offensively, it makes him so much more powerful. The group's having a hard time, even with all of them together at once. This isn't going to work. 13
they jumping,
needs
ain't
to
they?
get that weapon. While still in Kaioken, he splits up, creating 4 copies of himself. This divides his power up, but he doesn't even care. At least it gives him a better shot at actually getting the weapon. The clones all descend down, trying to attack everyone at once. Salad, or 13, begins laughing maniacally. They're not going to win this. Infinite energy, Kaioken, more DNA. He has so much power, so much data. And as the clones all fend off each of the fighters individually, one of them ascends up into the sky. He has the perfect idea. If they're going to be annoying, there's only one way to counter this. He'll destroy the planet and pry the power out of their corpses. He begins charging a massive attack. There's a huge burst in power. Lightning courses throughout the entire area. He tells them it's been fun, but it's time to say goodbye. 13 will keep this body for himself, attain perfection, become so strong that no one in the universe will stop him. They might have shut off the supercomputer, but who cares? He doesn't need that. He doesn't need Earth. He doesn't need Jiro or anyone else helping him. The attack is fully charged. He launches it, and the group is entirely helpless to stop him, except for one person. The sword is in Gohan's hands, and Piccolo steals it. He charges all of his ki, channeling it into the sword. All of his power is put into this. He won't be able to attack afterwards. He tells everyone, fire at the attack, counter it. The clones of Salad all disappear, going back to the main body. He puts more power into the attack, while everyone else tries to counter it at once. Piccolo continues charging energy into the sword. The blast gets closer and closer to Earth. The entire ground is beginning to tear up, and everyone's stressing as they're trying to counter it. But in the middle of it, Piccolo shouts. The sword is encased by ki, and it takes on a shape that looks like a spear. Piccolo holds it upwards and throws it. It cuts right through the attack, not destroying it, but slicing clean through. He hears 13 laughing up above, and 13 continues putting more and more power into the attack, but then notices something's parting the attack midway, and it's too late. Before he even has time to react, the sword pierces right through his chest. His eyes then change color, and the attack that he launched completely dissipates, and 13 just freezes up. Within Salad's body, he sees what's going on. That sword, it hardwired itself into Salad's body, and it's doing something weird. Not only is it trying to shut down the androids right now, but it activated something within Salad. While the external struggle ended, an internal one began. The chips for 14 and 15 shut down, and 13 is barely hanging on. He's being overpowered by Salad. It's just like Goku said, they'll defeat them again. 13 circuits are completely overloaded by power, not only being shut down by Bulma's device, but being overwhelmed by Salad. Back in the real world, everyone watches on. It seems calm. Salad's up in the air completely frozen, and then he begins glowing. His ki begins shifting. The maliciousness goes away. It seems like his normal self is
Super Saiyan Salad.
He descends down into the ground, a little bit uneasy at first, but then he realizes what's happened. That device that Bulma made. It's what he needed. She found out the secret to perfection. Overriding the technology of 13, 14, and 15 made this possible. He knew that researching them was the right idea, even if it did lead to this. He apologized to everyone, realizing this is all his fault, but he's glad everyone's okay. They all watch on as Salad begins to transform. It seems he's going to enter his perfect state. The group watches on as Salad evolves.
Okay, we watched part 5 and 6 today. Hey, man, that's really good, man. Really, really good. Salad Saiyan know how to write, man. Salad Saiyan, hey, that nigga pen, hey, your pen crazy, bro. Real shit. So shout out to you, man. Like my reaction, so you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.